That's how my days continue to be. So, if anybody else going through any pain or anything, I just want to encourage you and let you know, use that for your strength, man. Use it for your strength. That's all.
Hey, I'm in agreement with that. Ron, how you doing, man? It's Jeff.
Say, Jeff, man, how you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm happy, man. I'm in California now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Northern California, Sacramento to be exact.
Oh, you
All
stay
right.
on the move, Jeff.
Yeah, you got that right. All right, got that right. Okay, guys. Once again, guys, we're here on another Tuesday night, Tuesday motivation night. Your prayer, hope something be said tonight, guys. Be able to strengthen us, man. So I don't know why you've been a little slow by chiming in right now. I guess they'll start chiming. I'm going to go ahead and cut the chimes off anyway. So we want to hear them coming and going. I just want to thank everybody for chiming in, man. It's storming and raining out here where I am, man. But it's much needed. I just pray and hope it's not raining in the morning because I got a long journey. I got to travel tomorrow, about 4 hour journey. I got to hit the road about 5 o'clock in the morning. I hope all the rain gone by morning, man. I hate traveling when it's raining. So I had a wonderful day today, man. A very productive day, and I pray and hope everybody else had a very productive day today. And I pray and hope everybody had a wonderful Labor Day yesterday. And so, man, we had an awesome call on last night, Sherrod. Man, we had brothers Saber. We had Saber, Dr. Saber's grandson that was on with us last night, reported to us, man. He did an outstanding job, man. You can't believe that, bro. I really appreciate Big Jeff for introducing me to him, man. I can't believe how knowledgeable that young man is to be so young, man, when it comes to Ellison and all this and that, man. He's just very knowledgeable, be 24 years old. And so I'm not going to prolong the time, give Jeff some plenty time that he need, man, to impart it to us. I know he got a lot to say. But every time he and I talk, man, we usually talk for about 35, 40 minutes per hour. So he just keeps going and keep dropping all them nuggets on us. He's been on with us before, guys. And so he was so impactful, things he was to me anyway. So to ask him to come back again, he's so grateful to accept it. And he came back tonight. So he's ready tonight, man. I'm sure he's going to go open both valves tonight. And so with no further ado, man, I just want to just go ahead and just bring Big Jeff on and introduce his own self, let him know who he is and what he do, and then just take from there and just get ready to just impart it. So get set back, guys, and get fill some paper. I just pray and hope that what he got to say tonight will be something that will instill you into your life. This night right here will be a big impact on the rest of your life. So with no further ado, next boy you will hear is none other than Jeff Ned. All right, Big Jeff, take it away, my brother. Go, go, go.
Brother Frank, I do appreciate that introduction as always. Always catches me off guard, man. You got me blushing over here. I feel good.
Yeah, can you speak up a little bit? I can barely hear you, man. I don't know if that's the rest guy because you're real slow.
Is it a little bit better now? I'm going to turn up the volume.
Yeah, that's much better. Much better.
Okay, perfect. Frank, again, thank you for that introduction. I do appreciate it. You got me blushing over here as always when I sit back and think about it. But yeah, so I'm Jeff Ned. I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. I am an entrepreneur of the past 15 years, over 10 different businesses, a bunch of different industries. I know business. I love talking about business. I've been doing it all my life. It comes naturally to me. So if you ever need any business advice or help, I do it. I reach out. I mentor a lot of people, even Dr. Sabi's grandson, like when I was on the call yesterday. I actually been mentoring him for the past 5 years. Now we're first talk.
Hold on for a minute, Jeff. You real cracky, man. Let me see, can I just mute everybody out? See what that helps some. Because your voice is cracky. Okay, try again, Jeff. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Is it a little better now?
Okay, yeah, there we go. That sounds much better.
Okay, perfect. But yeah, I did mentor Dr. Sabi's grandson for the past 5 years, and I definitely was proud of him. So if you get a chance to hear his speech on health and wellness, he's definitely a testament to Dr. Sabi's legacy and a continuation of just doing the good work out here. So it was great to be able to introduce him. And like I was saying before, I don't know if you guys heard me, I am an entrepreneur. I've been doing business for the past 15 years on all different levels, some successes, some failures, but I'm always willing to reach out and help as needed. So if you ever do need some of that help, I'm always available to help you out wherever you are. But today's talk is about health. Even though I have been in business for a very, very, very long time, honestly, at this point in my life, and I really wish I would have started with this, I would tell some of the younger men that are just getting into business, or even some of the people my age and even older, if you do not make health a priority, everything else is going to fall by the wayside because everything begins with health. Um, and today's topic is going to be on something that may make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. It's definitely going to be, like they call in the South, a coming to Christ moment, because it's kind of a call out in a sense. It's going to make some people feel uncomfortable, but I like to be as transparent and as forthcoming and as straight to the point as I can. I would ask that you get a pen and a pencil and take some notes and little key things that I touch on. I'm going to try to say them twice if I can remember. If not, I'm going to try to cut the call to at least half the time so we can just do a lot of questions, because I know some of the things I'm going to say may come across as left field. But with no further ado, we're going to talk about flushing the toilet. So first things first, we all know how big of a role herbs, fresh smoothies, fresh leafy greens, just fresh fruits and vegetables as they are in their natural state, how good they are for your body. And taking in those nutrients as you take them in is probably one of the best things you can possibly do for your body. Now, from my personal experience and from the experience of a lot of people that I've talked to and just observed and been doing research for the past couple of years on it, the nutritional value from the foods that we're getting, because even when we're spending top dollar, because it is top dollar for a lot of these organic foods and products, and even some of your supplements and natural herbs, they are pretty pricey. But a lot of times that nutrition is not getting absorbed. A big reason that is when we're putting the fruit, vegetable, herb into our mouth, it's going in the first part of the tube, which is your mouth, running down your intestines, your upper and lower intestines, coming out your rectum. So you basically have a tube going in, one tube going in, one tube going out. What goes in, what's digested, it's sorted out, digested, and fed to your blood and your bloodstream pretty much from the second you take it in. Now, what a lot of us have, including myself, we take much better care of our vehicles than we do our bodies. If you ask anybody, that's had a car for a couple of years, it's just instilled in us. Oil change, 3,000 miles. Synthetic oil, 5,000 miles. If you don't do it, your engine's more than likely to shut down. Now, we don't take that same advice when it comes to our body. We need the exact same type of oil change. If it's not every 3 months or 3 to 5,000 miles, if you don't do it, you run the risk of overheating your car and making your engine work a lot harder than it has to. The exact same things happen in the body. When we don't flush out all the products that are going in our body on a regular basis, then it's causing all of our internal organs to work in overtime. So that food that's coming in, even if it's top dollar, $10 a pound apple, organic apples from Whole Foods, or whatever the case may be, if you don't already have a healthy digestive system already in place and you haven't done your normal flushes, then you run the risk of the items that are going into your mouth not being properly digested. With that being said, I want to bring up a topic that not a lot of people talk about, especially not in an open forum like this. But I want to talk about a colon cleanse. Now, I know there's a lot of knee-jerk reactions to a colon cleanse, what it is, what it can do for you, the bad side effects, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Colon cancer is probably in the top 5 cancers out there because, again, the second you put something in your mouth, it runs down that tube and then out the rear. That's pretty much how it goes. Now, if you've put any type of meat in your mouth, doesn't matter. It takes so long for your body to digest it. It's typically taking the bulk product of that meat and just pushing it to different sides of your body, whether it's on the side of your belly, whether it's your butt, whether it's your thighs, your inside of your thighs, under your armpits. If you feel around, if you feel any kind of fat, a lot of that's just undigested food, believe it or not. And a lot of times when your lower intestine's already filled with undigested food, after a while it just starts brewing over and brewing over into other areas. And after a while, again, it will cause your body to shut down, form all types of cancers from not flushing it out. Now, I'm not talking about the over-the-counter types of colon cleansers that you can do, which is basically a mineral oil or a Mylanta or any of those types of creamy colon cleansers. I'm talking about just the original one where you go to a practitioner that does this for a living, and all they do is just shoot warm water into your body. Can you do that on your own? Absolutely. It's a lot more comfortable when you do it with a professional. It may take 1 to 2 hours, and your body's taking in warm water through the rectum, which is actually hitting that lower intestines, which is where a lot of that product is sitting. I've done it a few times, and believe me, most people don't go to the bathroom 1 to 3 times a day. I know people that haven't gone to the bathroom in a week. So guess what's happening? When you put that meat or inorganic material in your mouth, and when I say inorganic, anything that's not coming from a tree or a leafy plant, from seed, and from seed is so important. If it's not going from the tree to your mouth or from the tree to the farmer's market or the tree to the grocery store, that would be the worst of the 3 choices. Putting it in your mouth, not restructuring it, meaning not heating it up. Once you heat something up, you restructure its natural state of affairs for your body. It was made perfectly from seed, and the second you start altering it, that's the second that your body doesn't recognize it and it starts to put it to the side along with all the other things. When you're doing the colon cleanse for the very first time, even if you didn't have to go to the bathroom, you would be so surprised because there's actually a clear tube, and the proof's in the pudding. You actually get to see all of that fecal matter that was inside your lower intestines come out. Now, I don't know if any of you guys are plumbers or understand like plumbing. It's literally like when you're washing clear water through a dirty tube, you would just be surprised how much gunk comes out. The fact that you didn't have to go to the bathroom prior to you going in, and when you see 5 to 8, sometimes 10, 15 pounds of fecal matter coming out of your body, man, you're not going to be the same. You're not going to be the same person once you see it. And it's sitting in the majority of people. Why? Because we don't talk about it. Why? Because it's uncomfortable, it's not really cool, etc., etc., etc. Now, that's definitely one thing you should do. Now, what happens if you don't do it? That same fecal matter, undigested meat, is the exact same thing. You've built up a community or a little area within your body, and you've become what's known as a host for parasites. Now, I'm talking about parasites that you can actually see because they do feed on that same stuff that you put in your body. And I understand it's knee-jerk and it may make people feel uncomfortable, but I got to be real. I got to be honest. I got to be authentic with it. Once you understand how this body works, we're given like the most amazing thing from day one, and we load it up with a bunch of nonsense. And then that distortion just causes all of these 45,000 forms of cancer that they're still writing books about because they keep finding a new one every other week. Undigested food hosts the bacteria. The bacteria turns into parasites. The parasites eat away not only at the fecal matter, but then they start eating away at your organs, whether it's your prostate cancer or your rectal cancer or 45 other thousand cancers that come about from that. So a good flush, and the reason I say flush as opposed to putting the mineral oil in your mouth, waiting for it to go through your upper and lower intestines and then come out. When you're sitting on it's basically just a glorified toilet once you go to the practitioner. It's a 2-hour session. They're pumping in warm water. There's nothing in this water, absolutely nothing, just normal warm water, a couple degrees over your body temperature. And you're shooting in literally 15 to 20 gallons at your own body's pace. It's a very, very normal, relaxing pace. As you're pulling in, squeezing in water, and squeezing it back out, you're basically filling up your lower intestines with that warm water. Now, drinking water from the top, again, exact same thing. It runs through the top of the pipe, up or lower, then back out your urine. A lot of times, there's just so much backup in this lower intestines, and sometimes gone all the way up to the upper intestines of just undigested food. Just chugging a gallon of water isn't enough. Sitting down for an hour or two and letting 15, 20 gallons of water come inside you and pushing it back out little by little, this is the best thing that you can do for your body. I wouldn't recommend it. If you've never done it in your life, I was, in my mid 30s when I did it, couldn't believe it. Saw immediate results from it. As soon as you start cleaning out the tubes, guess what? Once you start putting in those good nutrients in those same herbs that weren't taken well, or let's say you got 20, 30, 50% results from those herbs. Now you're going to get 100% from it because now your body doesn't have to shift through all of that dead waste and matter that's sitting around in your upper and lower intestines. So I just want to put it out there. This is something that I think everybody should do. This is a great starting point to cleaning up your diet. If you can, try to eat fruits that come from trees with seeds, leafy green vegetables. The more vibrant the color, the better for you. I had a hard time when I first started, just sitting there with a pound of lettuce. You feel like a rabbit sometimes. One thing I do is as I invested in a magic bullet. It's just a very small, simple blender. You can take the products, like when I take a lemon, I take the lemon just like you would eat an orange, the entire lemon, the same way you would eat an orange, put it in the blender with the seeds. Eating seeds is so important and vital. Those same seeds contain all of the information to make that lemon or that apple or that orange, watermelon, etc. So eating the seed is really good for you. A lot of people like to take the seeds out. Back in the day, they used to just mash down the seeds, and that was part of the medicines that were used in the village or in the small tribe. So I want to put those kind of things out there. In the mornings, I'll probably have like a mango, lemon, turmeric smoothie. You can keep it simple, 3 or 4 things. Pick your favorite fruit, pick your favorite veggies, pick seasonal stuff. If you already have something as nice as a Vitamix, awesome. If not, just get a regular blender, blend it up in the morning. It's the absolute best way to start your day. Glass of water, a healthy fruit and veggie mix. That's the absolute best way to get your day started. That will literally carry you for the first 3 to 4 hours, and you can do the exact same thing again at lunch. You can do it again at dinner. Now, I'm not trying to be unrealistic and saying, hey, don't put any more meat in your mouth, but if you could mitigate it, maybe when you're starting 60-40, maybe 40% meat, 60% healthy fruit and vegetables, and then just keep beefing it up. Because, again, it took you a while to get into that situation. It'll probably take you a while to get out. A lot of those cravings that we have aren't necessarily coming from our body. It's coming from the distortion in our body. Those parasites love meat, cheese, fat, wheat, all these things that we know aren't good for us. It's not really us with those cravings. It's something inside of us that's activating those cravings. And once you start actually eating properly, and like I said, once you start with that cleanse and you flush them out, you can literally look in the toilet and you'll start to see these things being excreted. One great way to kill them, pumpkin seeds, raw pumpkin seeds, not roasted pumpkin seeds, or not roasted or heated anything. In its raw, natural state is the best way to put it in your mouth. Papaya seeds, the exact same thing. Tastes like pepper. Most people just eat the papaya, throw the seeds away. The seeds have just as much nutrients, if not more, than the actual fruit. So putting that in the smoothie, blending it up, drinking it down, powering it down would be one of the best things you could possibly do for your body. I want to open it up to a few questions because I'm sure people have some questions. I know I talk kind of fast, I do apologize. But I want to open it up to questions because that can help the dialogue continue a little bit more.
Well, that was good, Jeff. That was good, man. Like I say, once those parasites things get into your body, man, like I said, they feed out. That's why, like you absolutely right, it needs to do a collision every so often, man, to flush that stuff out your body. I haven't done one, but I'm definitely considering doing it. So go ahead, because I imagine that probably better than just taking a laxative. That we take that gets out a lot of stuff that laxative don't get out your body. I'm sure.
Absolutely. I'll tell you the equivalent, just to piggyback on what you said. Taking that laxative, the over-the-counter thing, most things you find in stores are just synthetic versions of what nature already provides for free. Most synthetic things you find in stores are synthetic versions of what nature provides for free. There's an aspirin plant. There's also an aspirin pharmaceutical drug. One grows from the ground for free. One they sell and makes billions of dollars. One can destroy your liver, and one is just perfect, just pure perfection from day one. So when you're taking in a mineral oil or Mylanta or just any of those things that they sell that you're drinking down, it's just better to take water. The best way to take in the water in that case, again, is through the rectum, only because it's hitting that lower intestines. It's hitting that lower, and a lot of times we don't get that type of flush from the lower intestines. We're taking the water through the mouth, but we never get a wash from the bottom, especially when we're eating such heavy foods, just to kind of keep reiterating that same point. So yeah, absolutely. And your rectum is gonna contract and expand over 200 to 250 times before that muscle gives out during the colon cleanse, and that's something you would never do just sitting on the toilet. You may do it 5-10 times, you're out. But you're talking 200 to 250 times of just flushing it out with water. Can you sit there and drink 20 gallons of water? Sure. Would it have the same effect? Maybe. But, man, you could really just sit down, relax for what it's worth. It's not extremely, uncomfortable, but, man, you know what you're doing. You know why you're there. Let's just say that. So, yeah, I want to open it up to questions, and I want to keep answering it and just keep the dialogue open because I don't want to just be a lecture where I'm just kind of talking at you because I know there's a lot of questions.
Okay, like I said, man, you're absolutely right, man. We got to be very careful what we put in our body because we got to realize everything we put in our body it either adds life or adds death to our body. So to our life, brother. So that's why it's so important, man, to be very selective to what you put into your body. We definitely got to change our eating habits and stuff. Start drinking more alkaline water. Because
alkaline water, absolutely.
We got to alkaline our body because parasites and things can't live in an alkaline body. And so
that is 100% correct.
Alkaline our body so we can keep that stuff flushed out. And just like and we got to go to the bathroom, just like you were saying, man. It's frequently at part because really, every time when you eat, you should go be able to have a bowel move, right? Within an hour.
1 to 3 times a day. 1 to 3 times a day is normal. It should not be 2, 3, 4 days, a week. I've heard people that have gone 2-3 weeks without using the bathroom. That means you have so much blockage and stoppage. Man, that is terrible. It's putting too much pressure on your body, and you're still taking in food. Where's it going?
All that toxic, you're letting a lot of toxin into your body. You go around and get real sick, and you don't know why, and that's why.
Yes.
So they have these periods, Jeff. They call BioX4. That's it. BioX4. They help you to digest your food. And it helps you with your immune system, and it helps support your immune system. Now, man, you take one of those pills every time when you get ready to eat. You take them like 3 times, but every time you get ready to eat, you take one of those pills, and that helps your immune system and your digestive system and everything, to flush.
And I'll tell you what it is to get past the branding part. Because, I'm not here to push any pills or anything. I'm just here to share the information, and I want people to be able to get it no matter what tax bracket they're in. That is a probiotic, and you are 1 zillion times correct. Our body has healthy bacteria in our gut to the tune of trillions. Most probiotics, when you look on the shelf, you're going to see anywhere from 3 billion up to, I've seen as much as 60 billion on the shelf. Just in normal health food stores. Now, again, a healthy gut has trillions. So if you're putting in 3 billion at a time, one pill at a time, 3 billion healthy bacteria, how long would it take to get to 1 trillion from 3 billion? And you can just do that math, how long it would take to actually flush and clean out your system and totally replace it. You want to get the highest amount of probiotics in your body that you possibly can. You'll notice that the 3 billion will be at maybe $10 a bottle, and the 60 billion will be about $40, $50 a bottle. They price it based on how much is actually in the tube. There is a way to get it naturally from fermented cabbage. You can get it from fermented cabbage. It's called fermented cabbage. It's Korean and it's called kimchi. I don't know if you ever heard of it. Kimchi. It's nature's kimchi. So kimchi is basically fermented cabbage. And you can make it at your. It is raw. It is refrigerated and it's raw. You can make it yourself, old school. You can Google how to do that exactly. I don't want to waste too much time on it. You can go to they have them over at the Super H. I know you're in Georgia. Super H is like the Asian health food store, just the Asian store. They definitely have kimchi there. Kimchi, one of the better things you can do if you don't want to get the pill, if you want to get it from natural foods. And anything that's fermented, basically, any fermented vegetable would have that. Would have live cultures. Now you can also get them from yogurts. There's only one yogurt company that has live bacteria in it and live cultures. There's one. There's not 5. There's one on the market. It's by a company called Kite Hill, like flying a kite on a hill. Kite Hill. You'll find it at Whole Foods. It is a little pricier because it's live cultures inside of that yogurt. Normally, you just get sweet yogurt. That's usually what you're getting, like Dannon and Breyers and all that stuff. That's ice cream.
That's right.
You're just eating ice cream. Nothing wrong with it, but it's not doing what you think it's doing. There's one that makes it, and you can read the labels. Grab the label. If it says live cultures in there, there may be another one in Georgia. Maybe there's a local brand that's putting it out. Awesome. Definitely support that because, again, that puts healthy bacteria in your body, and all that's doing is going to combat all the inorganic material in your body that you've been consuming. Now, at a certain point, you're going to overtake that war in a sense, because right now they're winning in a sense if you haven't been taking care of your body. But there's going to be a certain point where you're overtaking and you're going to be winning, which is awesome. And then you don't have to put in so much probiotics and so much kimchi. And you don't have to do the colon cleanse every year. You can do it every 2 years, but you just have that maintenance plan in place, same way you would do your working out.
That's powerful. Now, that one yogurt, and also, yogurt is something that you're talking about. Some of the yogurt just sweet, just like eating ice cream. Then you best to stay away from that kind of yogurt, man, because like I said, cancer cells, they feed off sugar and stuff. And that's why sugar is so bad for you. So we have to stay away from so much sugar stuff, real sweet stuff. It's not good for you. And also, like I mentioned last night, like we think of wheat bread is good for us. Put it on wheat bread. That's not good for you either because you got all that fructose and chemicals and stuff in it. And also those healthy bars that we buy in the store, we think we want to eat something healthy this morning, so you get a healthy bar. And those things are not good for you as well, man. And we got to continue to get to a point, man, so we can continue to maybe take something so we can keep that stuff moving out our body because the body can only digest so much food a day, and sometimes we just do blood.
Absolutely.
And then the body can only digest so much food a day. And just what you think happened to that food that's not being digested, it's being restored in your belly. That's why you see people with such big belly and such, man, and that's not good for them. And so that's good. So we definitely got to pay more close attention to that. All right, Jeff, I'm going to open it up for some Q&A. Guys, if you're not speaking, keep yourself on mute until you get ready to speak, and then once you speak, you can put yourself back on mute. All right. Go ahead, call for some first time, someone never been on Force One call before. You got something you'd like to say, speak to us, ask a question, just whatever, just want to add to what he said, some knowledge to what he said, or whatever case may be. Come back. Keep your comments to about 2 minutes, please. All right. All right, hit star 6 and come in. Hit star 6 and come in. If I got any question, I'll holler what at it for Big Jeff. Hit star 6. Not everybody at one time. Well, I guess you answered all the questions tonight, Jeff. Just let me open it all the way up.
Hey, Jeff.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Identify yourself.
Just fine. My name is Gerard Blunt.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate the information that you're passing along, but I did have a question about taking the, I don't recall the name of it, but you take it before you have a colonoscopy, and it supposedly cleans you out. Is that cleanse basically so that they'll be able to take pictures, or is it the function of that cleanse pretty close to the rinsing that you described earlier?
Now, the first part of your question, for some reason, I'm sorry, I wasn't able to hear. Were you referring to the just like a colon examination, where they stick the tube up just to kind of see what's going on inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
But more so in regards to the formula that you use in order to cleanse yourself before you go and have that colonoscopy. Is effective is that compared to the cleansing that you described in your discussion?
I'm not as familiar with that type. I think that's the type when you go in, if they want to see if you have a type of colon cancer, that's what most of the doctors have you take. I guess it's kind of like a dye, I guess, that would be able to help them identify if you have any stage of colon cancer, and then from there they may recommend certain forms of antibiotics, or from there maybe even a surgery. And if those two don't work, because sometimes they even cut out your stomach. And before you go as far as getting scared into getting some major surgery and getting something cut out, again, these bodies are put together exactly as they need to be. Is there a nuance, and maybe like the 99th percent can go with the colon cleanse, and that 1% that's just like, hey, they're on the deathbed, they're about to die if they don't get the surgery? Absolutely, there's no turning back from that. But if not, I would definitely recommend just a standard colon cleanse. And I mean, you can in any area. I mean, there's a lot of practitioners that do it. I mean, you're talking 1 to 2 hours, and sometimes $75 or $100. That's the going rate on the West Coast. On the East Coast, it might be half the price, because I know things are priced a little less down there.
Okay, so the answer that I'm hearing is the cleansing that you described is far superior to you taking those the chemical that in theory cleanse your colon, so that they'll be able to take a look inside and see if you have any cancer or what have you, polyps.
Yeah, I would say so, and here's my reason why. Because I mean, you can turn something into a huge business, because I don't like getting on doctors. I know a lot of them go into it with their heart in the right place, but just like any business, a lot of times they focus on production and the bottom line a lot of times. And I mean, we're people, and I don't like to get into the monetary side of that. I rather just get to the things that actually help, as opposed to the thing that can maybe broaden the bottom line. Can the chemical thing help them identify if you have the any types of parasites, or any type of blockage, or maybe any kind of stage of colon cancer? Sure, absolutely. It's a great way to identify it. But you can. I would say, hey, what's wrong with actually just cleaning it out? And it's just water. it's about as natural. Your body is water, so using water to clean it out is probably the most natural thing you can do. And personally,
I understand that and totally agree with the water. But the last time I had a colonoscopy a couple of years ago, too long, but it seemed to really just flush out a lot of what was in me. At least when I was thinking about it in my mind, it like cleanse your colon to the point where it would make it much easier for the physician to determine if you have anything dangerous going on or polyps or anything of that nature.
absolutely. It's pretty much along the same lines. I mean, I'm totally in agreement with you because the colon cleanse is the exact same thing. And after you got the cleanse, you can go back to the doctor, and then they can definitely do an examination and tell you where you are. And that's kind of where the natural herbs and the natural fruits and leafy greens, in my opinion, can do the exact same thing that the pharmaceutical pills can do or the synthetic pills can do. So
right.
yeah,
okay.
they can definitely identify it either way, whether you have the colon cleanse or colonoscopy. Going back and getting an examination is definitely on par. So at least you know where you stand, and then from there, putting in like those healthy things, because once you clean it out, the best thing to do is just to start replacing it with the good. Easier said than done, of course. We're humans. But as you move forward, if you can take in those leafy greens and fruits and vegetables, if you can take them in with a blender, you can drink them in the morning because it's easy to just drink something. Sometimes a little harder to consistently sit down and eat some fresh kale or chard or celery or et cetera, et cetera. A lot easier sometimes to just to drink it down and get those nutrients in, because once that area is clean, guess what? All those nutrients and vitamins and all those organic materials and healthy bacteria that's from all those healthy fruits and vegetables, they go right into the bloodstream. And the whole point is just to get the blood carrying all the healthy nutrients to all those places and going to war with those inorganic materials that are in your body, and then letting those just come out through your urine and again through your rectum. Like that's the goal, just to get it out. That's probably the healthiest way to get it out, as opposed to just trying to cut it out. Because your body can definitely handle it for sure.
Why is that crack right there, dude?
All right, anyone else? Hit star 6 and come in. Hit star 6. Come on, guys. Talk to her. Y'all got this.
Hey, Bro Frank.
Talk to her, Brother Art.
All right. How's it going? It's definitely a great topic. Definitely a great topic we're on tonight. And last night was a treat to hear the young brother, Dr. Saber's grandson, disperse his wealth of knowledge. It seemed like he was talking to a PhD in a private practice that's been studying up in the Himalayas mountains or something. This brother was coming with it.
Yeah, he was.
And the same even tonight, even though he dispersed his information in a short period of time to get to the questions, but he gave us a lot of very important information of watching what we are putting into our mouth and our body in the first place. And I remember Goldie Hawn. She's the older actress. I remember when Goldie Hawn, she obtained cancer, and what she did, they wanted to go straight into the cancer protocol, chemotherapy, and she turned it down. She went the natural way. She started studying, how did she get it, and she put a book out. And lo and behold, she was saying the cancer was coming from what she was eating and what she was drinking. The diet told her the diet sodas, these NutraSweets, these synthetic sugars that are cancer causing, some of the oils that we cook our food in. We can't digest them because they cook them at such a higher rate. She went through that whole list, and the bottom line was stop putting these cancer-causing foods into your body. And the same thing the brother's saying. The same thing the brother's saying tonight. It sounds strange to us, but if you go back to what Dr. Sebi was saying, he's saying the same thing that the brother's saying. Some of these things are not God intended in such a way when you're dealing with acidicness and alkaline, like Brother Frank was saying. Like Brother Frank was saying, the alkaline water. Now, I have two questions. One is about the flushing that you're talking about of the lower intestines through the rectum. Now, is that something that we go to the doctor and have them to do, or are you saying that's something that we can do ourselves?
Well, there's actually practitioners that do it. There's one in Oregon that I went to, and I'm going to tell you how to gauge whether or not it's a good one by the amount of time that they give you to actually perform this service. Now, you're sitting on a contraption that looks very similar to a glorified toilet with a tube on it. I mean, to take all the glamour out of it. It's a toilet with a tube. The tube comes up about 3 inches. There's a clear tube that goes down so you can actually watch what's coming out of your body. And what happens is the water is pressurized, but it moves with your body's natural rhythm. For example, the water is coming out at a very low pulse, but as you squeeze your rectum, it's pulling the water in. Just think about when you suck a straw. You suck a straw, the water comes into your mouth and then goes down your throat. Same exact thing. The water's coming out of the tube as you squeeze your rectum. Exact same thing like squeezing that straw and sucking in the liquid. It's pulling it up. You may notice you may be only able to hold your rectum for 1-2 seconds. That's as far as it can get because there's blockage there. And you'll let it go, release, just like you'd open your mouth. And then you'll notice, boom, pressure releases, and you'll start to see the breakup of all that matter in your lower intestines that's just sitting there. And it'll dawn on you like, hey, I didn't have to go to the bathroom prior to coming in here, but why is there this much coming out? And honestly, it disgusted me so much. That's why I'm so adamant and passionate about it. It's like, it seems like so foreign, the fact that this was going on, and no one ever took the time and to break it down to me. I mean, I'm a younger guy, but I don't want to, like, even the lady when I went in there, she's like, most people that come in here have stage 3, 4, and 5 terminal cancer, prostate, colon, you name it. That's when they come in. But I don't want to go in there when I have that type of cancer. I want to go in there for preventative maintenance. I think that's the best way to take care of things sometimes.
And what is the name of that procedure?
It's just called a colon cleanse. You can type it in Google.
Okay,
colonics, yeah.
So that's not something that you wouldn't recommend a person doing that themselves. They need to go to a professional and have it done.
Well, mainly because they have the machine there that holds about 20 gallons of warm water, and being that it's already set up to just do it, it's a little bit easier than trying to makeshift and do it yourself at the house, trying to take in 20 gallons of warm water. I don't know what kind of contraption you put together to get that done, but man, if somebody's already invented the wheel, I can go over there and pay a couple bucks and get it done over there, So
let me ask you a question. The reason
absolutely.
I'm asking because I had the colonoscopy done.
Yes, sir.
I think a couple of years ago. So would I still need to do something like that? Being that I had the colonoscopy done. Was
it similar to what I was describing? Was it more of a flush where you took in 10, 15, 20 gallons of water?
That's not a cleanser. Colonoscopy, that's not clean. They're just testing for your prostate. See, you got
that's just the examination.
Right.
Okay, so my next question, next question, would something? Do you think something like that would be covered under my insurance, or do I need to call them and ask them?
You might want to call them. A lot of times they do not, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if it's the solution to the problem,
Come on
but
now.
they can keep the Band-Aid on you and milk you forever in 25 lifetimes, then hey, nah, they probably won't. Just to be real straight up with you. But let me tell you the cost, because this is not unreasonable. Mine costs $125 for 2 hours. For 2 hours of love, compassion, and care. And I cannot tell you the most ridiculous things I spent $125 on. And that was considered one of the more expensive ones. When I started researching this, I wanted the Bentley of colon cleanses. I don't want to go down to the $20 oil change, 5 minutes in and out. Nah. I'm sure they will change your oil, but man, this is my body. I can't be messing around. So I wanted to do something.
Yeah, that price range is definitely reasonable. I didn't realize that.
It's reasonable. Exactly. That's why I like to talk numbers and I like to be realistic with you. And again, I'm in the Pacific Northwest where things are damn near twice what it costs in the South. So that same thing would probably be about 75 cents on the dollar compared to what I paid. But more important than the price is the amount of time that the practitioner spends with you. I want you to call them up. I want you to call these people. This is your body. This should be done in love. And when it's done in love, you can't just say, hey, we turning over two rooms every hour. So you got 30 minutes in, 30 minutes out. No. You go for as long as you need to go. The tube going up your butt, man. Do you want to feel pressured and rushed? This is like, it's already stressful enough. You want to be relaxed enough to go in there and let all this stuff naturally come out of you, as opposed to feeling the stress of having to do it in like 30 minutes or less.
Well,
so
I really
ask the practitioner
that.
How long.
I really appreciate that. I'm definitely going to call and check on that, and I would be definitely interested in that. Because I'm 55 years old, and I'm working on some of those things. And my next question was,
sure.
How do you feel about the apple cider vinegar, that's the craze that's going on to help reduce the weight, blood pressure, and all of that? Because, you take the little apple cider vinegar with some warm water and drink it to help curb the appetite.
Well, me and Chris, and then Chris comes back. And by Chris, I say Dr. Sabi's grandson. We did talk about that very recently because I was familiar with taking a tablespoon or a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar in the morning to kind of cut your craving. However, the problem, and I mean, it sometimes when somebody breaks something down to you, it just seems so simple. Vinegar is acidic. Putting the vinegar in your body is not a good idea. I understand it's the craze. I understand, it probably would curb your appetite, but I just don't see putting the acid in your body to curb your appetite being the best thing to do. And so I'm in total agreement with Chris on that one and Dr. Sabi. Because personally, I was doing it, and then I stopped once I was like, oh, well, hold up. I love apple cider. The vinegar part is so harsh on my body, and I noticed I had like not necessarily an acid reflex reaction, but it almost had like this weird burn aftertaste going down my throat, and I was like, well, maybe that's because it's working or whatnot. But it's acidic based, and if we're trying to stay towards alkaline, the vinegar isn't in that category. To answer your question.
Okay, well, listen, I want to take up no more time, but I want to thank you. I want to definitely thank Brother Frank. This is life-saving, preventive care information that we're getting tonight, fellas. And I'm on board with this brother information. I would definitely be looking into this colon cleanse, and any brothers that's feeling uncomfortable about the rectum part, you have to pray about it. Get over it. This could be. I know how we is. We have to get those checkups. The doctor putting that glove on, but we. Yeah.
Oh man, he snapped that glove. It's real.
It's real. But we need to understand the depth that Uncle Frank is trying to take us to, and we listen to him when he We listen to him when he's talking about finances, and we listen to him when he's talking about prosperity, and we listen to him when he's talking about the love of God. And the brother just said that this is one of those love of God conversations. So we might have to we might have to humble ourselves on the manhood part and consider that, even if we just call and find out more about it. But I appreciate Uncle Frank and appreciate you, brother, for this call. It's very, very important. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I got over the intimidation of talking about it, because if you'd asked me 10 years ago, this comes across as like so left field. I'd be like, man, shut up. But I mean, I'm just being real with you where I was and where I'm at. But after you do it, there's nothing more powerful than the testimony. And once you see it, and once you see the results from it, because I didn't even tell you, I dropped 35 pounds in less than 2 months from 2 colon cleanses, just getting rid of fecal matter in my body. And I wasn't like, obesely overweight. I'm literally at my 10th grade weight now. I'm 37, and I don't really work out. I do snowboard and, do all that stuff outside the box, but like I'm not in the gym. I'm not a gym dude. So
wow.
The fact that so it's like, if losing the weight, fine. You want to get on the ego part and, looking good for the summer, awesome. But man, taking care of your body and getting that mess out, I'm telling you, it's going to give you so much energy to talk. And again, I'm a business person, so this will help you in your business and your relationships, because you're going to look at people totally different. And you're going to speak more in love, because this is all about love. That's why I'm able to put the ego to the side and actually talk about something like this. That's not really normal conversation, for the majority of folks. So
not at all.
I'm trying to make it as comfortable as I can with a smile, man. As comfortable as I can, It just is what it is, because I'd rather you guys be around.
Well, you definitely made it vividly, clear, and you've gone into great details of the importance of it. So, all jokes aside, the importance of it, especially if you got children, and like I said, I'm 55, I have a daughter 16, and, all of those things are important, and it also makes me more conscious, not just to go and get the cleanse and have that done, but when I come back from the cleanse, I got to be serious about what I'm putting back into my mouth and back into my system.
Absolutely. You bring yourself back to life, man. You realize the importance of the responsibility that you were given. And you didn't have to have stage 5 cancer to come back from the dead, so to speak. Huh?
Yeah, I appreciate those kind words, Brother Art, man. Like I said, man, we got to continue fine-tuning our knowledge, and that's what it's all about, man. We got to continue to upgrade our knowledge in all phases of life, man, because, like, especially like when you're dealing with body, you don't get but one body, so we got to take care of that body, and each and every individual take care of their body. It's your responsibility to take care of this body, man. God give it to you. This is his temple, so you got to take care of it, man, so he have a dwelling place and what have you, man. So you can always, prevention is much cheaper than cure. So remember that.
Absolutely.
Prevention is much cheaper than cure, because you can prevent.
That's right.
It's like an oil change, like Jeff mentioned, oil change. You can buy. You let your car vehicle run out of oil, mess right in there, throw a rod in your motor. Now you got to change the whole motor out. You can buy oil a lot cheaper than you can a motor. So
right.
Same difference.
It's like you can go and buy some flowers to keep your girlfriend or whatever, as opposed to trying to make it right with one big gift. Same thing. It's cheaper on the maintenance side.
Same thing.
Tell her you love her, give her a kiss, give her a hug, or whatever the case may be. But man, that's a lot easier than trying to go through a divorce court and everything else.
Are there anyone else?
Yeah.
Are there anyone else? Donnell, you on? Hit star 6. Let me open.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here.
Talk to us, Donnell. I know you got something to say for dealing with health, man, because you're a health freak.
I'm a health freak.
Hey, we all need to be health freaks. We all need to be
absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
I'm with it.
Well, I just want to say that was great. That was great, and just building up our conscience about health stuff. It's something that we all need. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a lower intestines. You know what I'm saying? So I think Art or somebody else was asking, like, what do you search for when you look for that? It can also be known as hydrotherapy. And I was
hydrotherapy.
Yep, hydrotherapy. And
Yes,
I was
sir.
actually looking a couple of weeks ago. They actually have some deals on Groupon for hydrotherapy. There was one I was looking at, like in Lithia Springs. They had like I was looking at, of course, I was looking at the reviews with it as well, because I was like, well, you know, I want to go to no cheap place, you know what I'm saying, not get it done. But they were like, you know, one of the reviews was like, yeah, this thing. The only bad review was somebody complaining how long it took, and they said, man, I didn't know it was gonna take 2 hours. So that kind of answered the question that you were saying earlier. I haven't did it yet, but you know,
what's the price? Put it out there if you don't mind.
Yeah,
what's the price
okay,
of the
I'll look for it again. But it was a Groupon, and it's like it's very good price. So
$50, $100, I don't know.
I think it was like I think it was around $50, or it was like 1 for $50, 2 for $65. It was really cheap. It's much cheaper than what you're talking about over there on the West Coast.
Wow.
It was like in the neighborhood.
Man,
of like
if you know somebody you love and care about, get one for yourself, get one for them, educate them, replay this little YouTube podcast again for them. Do it yourself. Be a testament and a testimony to them. Get it for them. Do it. And even if they don't want to do it, say, man, I care about you. I want you to be around for the next 1,000 years. Please do this.
I like that. I like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll
if
do.
it's $50, man, come on. We can spend $100. We get $50
Exactly.
gift cards to Best Buy. Come on. That's no excuse.
You can't put no price tag on health. Ain't no price.
You can't put a price on health, man. Just go through cancer and watch them take your house. Yeah, for real.
And it is a business. I mean,
it's a business.
I didn't make it on the call last night with Dr. Sebi's grandson, but like, you know, Dr. Sebi, that's like probably the best doctor of our time in our generation that we all know about.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's the man. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't listened to the call, but if his grandson is continuing on his legacy of what he's doing, then I would definitely want to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's a sharp gentleman. I actually been mentoring him for the past 5 years. I met him when he was 16, and that's a strong dude. So he's gonna take over the business, the legacy, and then take it into the future. Because again, we know about marketing and branding and business. We got to make this stuff so comfortable that it almost seems silly to not do it. Like, oh, you're not taking care of your body. What are you, silly? You know what I mean? Like, we need to have these discussions with each other, just like we can talk about Jordan and LeBron and everybody else. We need to know.
Absolutely.
Oh, come on, man. I shouldn't know stats of anybody else if I don't know the stats of my own body. That's just being real. So,
man, if I could.
Is he in Honduras like his grandfather was, or is he in the States, or what?
He's actually on the West Coast with me. He's in Vegas right now. He's in Las Vegas right now with family. He just left California to Vegas. I met him in Georgia when I used to live in Georgia. And then I moved to the West Coast, and ironically, he ended up moving to the West Coast. So it's really cool. And he's en route back and forth to Central America to get some things done. He's working with some scientists there to make sure that it's the best quality product that's coming on the market. And again, once you do the cleanse, feed your body those healthy herbs, Dr. Sebi's herbs. Feed your body those healthy fruits and vegetables. Again, fruits and vegetables from seed. If there's no seed, how was it made? Come on. How do you make something without a seed? It's made in a laboratory. Just be real with yourself. If you don't see a seed, you might want to walk away.
And you know, not to put my dad under the bus, but my dad retired from Montana. But I know the kind of stuff they were involved in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Monsanto, the GMO kings. We know.
Right.
But the lady, I'm gonna be honest with you, just real quick, as I know we run out of time. The lady that started the colon care business here in Oregon under Colon Care LLC, you can Google it. Man, I don't own that company, but when I talk Colon Care LLC, it's based out of Oregon. I think it's Hillsboro or Tigard, Oregon. Just type in Colon Care LLC, Oregon, and Google. Colon Care LLC and Google. Read her reviews, read her website. But what I really want to say was, when I talked to her, ironically, we went to the same high school in Georgia, in Campbell. I met her in Oregon. I was like, man, what the hell? What's the odds of meeting somebody in Oregon that went to high school in Georgia? We're about the same age. But once we started talking and corresponding, I could feel her heart and her energy. And I'm like, man, you are really passionate about this. This is before I even started. And she's like, yeah, I used to work for Kraft. Now, if you know Kraft, they are crafting food for real. And she was like, she used to work for Kraft Commercial. She used to send out 15 to 20 tractor trailer trucks every day packed with Kraft macaroni and cheese. She made a buku money. Awesome. But man, she's paying her penance right now because she's like, I can't be a part of that and not be a part of the solution. I was a part of the problem. And after we talked about that, I went in there like, man, this is a cakewalk. Those are the kind of people I want to be around that's doing it. She's not in it for the money. She understands the damage that she did. Just like I'm sure I did some damage, and maybe I'm repaying it by sharing this with you guys, because I'm not here to get paid, but I'm here to educate and enlighten and inspire so you guys can do it and take care of your lives and then inspire the people around you, because that's your responsibility. Because we're all the heroes in this story. Everybody on this phone is the hero. I'm not the hero. You're the hero. You're my hero. I'm gonna need you, just like you need me. So this is how the world works, and this is how you get those things called blessings that come back to you. This is just how it works. So, yeah, the lady I went to happened to be the best in Oregon. She worked for Kraft, and I'm sure your father working for Monsanto's. Maybe you should get him one. That'd be a funny joke. You know, get him the colon thing. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. You and your dad can go together, man. Y'all can bond over that. Why not?
Kind of weird, but okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, great, man. This Sharon. I'm 27 years old, and I never had a conversation about that. I mean, I seen commercials, and like I'd be like, oh, I'm never doing that. Like that was really my mindset. That's just straight. I'm like, bro, I'm like, yo, I don't want to be 40. Like, what they talking about? Like, ain't nobody know. It ain't happening, bro.
It ain't happening. I feel you.
Stupid. It's so stupid. Like, it's really so stupid. And for me to be 27 years old and to never have this conversation is like, dang, like, what I've been listening to my whole life? Like, what have I been feeding? So I just want to ask you, with all this information, do you have like a channel or, like a YouTube video you could post? I could just keep watching, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, absolutely. For the younger folks, man, like I tell everybody, my coming to Christ moment was understanding that parasites are real. Parasites are real. Parasites are real. They will eat you from the inside out, and they will eat your organs, and you will die from cancer. That's the long story short. They come from putting BS, bothersome stuff, in your body. Once you put it in, and it's not digesting, your body's not recognizing it, your body's the best computer ever built. But once you start putting in, you start going to those weird websites and you get all them viruses put on your computer, it's the exact same thing. We're putting all this distortion in our body, and that distortion is actually resonating and showing up in different ways. So to answer your question with YouTube, number one, type in parasite cleanse. Watch every video. If there's 1,000 of them, watch them all. If you want to learn more about healthy eating and nutrition, type in Dr. Sabi. Watch every video that he has, every interview that he's done. If you want to learn about juicing and cleansing, type in Grow Your Greens, GROW, Your Greens. That's a really good dude that does that. He talks about eating clean. And the reason he's so adamant about it is because he had stage 5 cancer, diagnosed at 19 years old from eating crappy food. And he turned his whole life around, and he never went back. And he's very passionate about it. He probably has 800. He probably does a video a day. That's how serious he is about it, talking about eating healthy greens.
And what's the name? What's the name here?
Grow Your Greens. Grow Your Greens.
S at the end of greens, or just B-E-N?
Yeah, greens, GREENEENS. Excuse me.
Okay.
Jeff, let me ask you one more question. This is Art.
Yes, sir. As many as you have, guys, I mean, please ask. I want 1,000 questions. I have nowhere to go.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
For the meat eaters, what would you suggest? What would you suggest as a means, as a healthy alternative to meat? Meaning,
yes.
As to either reduce.
Yes, sir.
Reduce the meat intake, and if the meat eater is going to continue to eat meat, would organic be better, or like I said, certain types of meat, or to start, like I said, a reduction in the intake? What would be your?
Yes, sir. Excellent question. Thank you, because it's something me and Frank talked about. Now I'm gonna start off. It's gonna be a 2-minute response, so bear with me. I'm gonna punch you in the gut, but then I'm gonna give you the actual solution of what you can do to it. Now, when you're eating the meat, I mean, I'm just being real with you, because I understand, and believe me, bro, I still eat meat. So do not think that this lens is pointed at you or anybody else. This is not a conviction. It's all out of love, because we're all growing together. So I would never just want to come down on any person. I'm coming down on myself if I do that. With that being said, meat, once you kill an animal, it's a carcass. That carcass is preserved by injecting red dyes in it to give you that look of fresh meat. But the second you kill it and the blood's not flowing, it is rotting meat. So that meat that's coming from that farm, I don't care if it's the most kosher $1 trillion farm with diamond freaking knives, doesn't matter. It's a rotten piece of meat that's put in the fridge, injected with a red dye. It's brought to your butcher. The butcher sells it to you. Awesome. So you take the meat. Now you got a rotten piece of carcass. You heat it up. So you heat it up, and you add vegetables and herbs to it. And I guess to give it better taste so you can digest it, why don't you just eat the meat as it is? Awesome. I don't know. You put it in your body. The rotten meat is now in your body. The parasites love meat. They love things that rot. Don't believe me? If you've never seen a piece of a raccoon or a squirrel or a bird on the side of the road, when it's dying and decomposing, flies lay maggots in it, parasites grow in the rotten meat. The exact same thing you see on the street, exact same thing happening in your body. Boom. Let's move forward. There are alternatives. One is called a jackfruit. J-A-C-K.
I'll wait until you get to that jackfruit.
Jackfruit, jackfruit. Don't know if you've heard of it before, but the majority of people have not. I'm so excited about it, man, because I'm telling you, the Creator has given us everything. Not one version, but like a billion versions. There isn't one apple. There's a billion versions of apples. Jackfruit, you probably never heard of it. Jackfruit, literally, and I mean literally, not figuratively, closing your eyes, maybe. It tastes like pulled pork. I'm not joking. I am a recovering meat eater saying this. A guy that can probably eat you under the table in meat. Or at least I used to be, I guess. But jackfruit, it's as big as a watermelon, number one. Google it, please. Get you some jackfruit. You can find a jackfruit recipe. You can eat the jackfruit. Believe me, give it to somebody and do not tell them that it's meat. I mean, that it's a fruit. You know it's a fruit, but give it to them and ask them what it is. Their first thing is going to be like, this tastes like pulled pork. The texture of it looks like pulled pork. The consistency and taste of it is just like pulled pork, and that's one alternative of many. But jackfruit's a great way to still put a fruit in your body from seed. This was given to us by the Creator. Again, I still eat meat. I'm not condemning eating meat. If you want to eat it, that's cool. Try to cut down your consumption of it. Maybe if you can go 50% fruits and vegetables, 50% meat. That's awesome. Believe it or not, people are going 90% bread, meat, and cheese, and 10% vegetables. Man, if you can go 50-50, that's awesome. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of myself when I can do that. Honestly, I'm at about 85%, 15, to give you an idea of where I'm at. Ideally, I'd like to be at 100, 0.
What kind of meat would you suggest to be a absolutely no-no?
I would probably say pork would probably just be the worst of the worst. Beef being close up there, but I mean, again, if you look at how some of these animals are treated before they're killed. I mean, I'm in the Pacific Northwest. They're very vocal about it. They're very in your face about it. Like, it's a regular conversation because the animals are treated so inhumanely. And I mean, they're cooped up in these kitchens and cages, and slaughtered. And I mean, they're eating each other. They're eating the feces. They're eating their babies, and they're pumped up with antibiotics to give you like a 5-pound chicken breast, and then you're eating that after you cook it. And then and then we're wondering why we have 45,000 billion versions of cancer. Come on. The antibiotics that are put in the medicines that are put in the animals that are mistreated are now put in you after you cook it. I mean, come on. Causation without correlation. There's a link in this chain fence to how you got to where you are. And understand, again, I said that flush would eliminate a lot of those cravings, those so-called cravings that you think you have, because it's not you that's craving what you think you want to eat. It's your lower self that's craving that, because you were made perfect. You just were. You wouldn't crave that if there wasn't something in you asking for that.
Jeff, when you say lower, excuse me, Jeff, when you said lower self, would that craving also would be contributed to the parasites?
That is the parasites. When I say lower self and parasites, those are synonymous.
Wow.
The parasites, you're feeding the parasites what they want. The parasites love cheese, bread, meat, dead, rotting meat. You need a visual. Think about roadkill. What is inside of the roadkill? What is decomposing that roadkill when you see it on the side of the road? It's maggots and it's bacteria and it's parasites that's breaking down that meat. When you put meat in your body, the exact same thing's happening. I know you're not seeing it because you look at your stomach. Maybe you got a six-pack. Doesn't matter. But if you're putting that in your body, that exact same thing that you see that's happening on the street is the exact same thing that's happening inside of your body, because your body's not recognizing that. The natural structure of your body is made for the products that are grown from seed. Period.
But
it's not to discourage you from. Yes, sir.
I said it's like when like you saying that when you see the roadkill on the side of the road, parasites.
Yes, sir.
Buy those maggots and things. Those maggots come from flies leaving their eggs and everything, don't? But see, flies not lighting on the food that once we done ate it,
Now there are types of bugs and parasites that are already in the food the second it's killed and slaughtered. There may not. They may be in the air. They may be in the environment. They may have already been inside of the cow. Now understand, you just slaughtered an animal. All of the bacteria, fungi, parasites that were in the cow. Now you're eating a slice of that cow. It's preserved through the cooling process in the refrigerator, and it's injected with red to make you think that it's freshly killed. It's put on the shelf. It's given a price tag. You take it home. It's organic. It's from Whole Foods. It's $25 for a piece of steak. Awesome. You put it in your body. You just put the same dead cow that ate all that stuff in your body. I'm not trying to come down, but I want to drill this in your head so where it's I want you to be repulsed when you think about what you're putting in your body, because you want to put the best products in your body. Is it going to be easy? First, kill the parasites. Get rid of the parasites. Get rid of the craving. Craving's gone. Hey, wow, I don't think I'd eat meat as much as I thought it was. It's not psychological. You don't have to stand on your head and do 50 prayers. Just get rid of the parasites inside of your body, and a lot of them are in that fecal matter and in that waste that's inside of your gut that can be cleaned out from the colon cleanse. That's a great starting point. The best way to get rid of everything, like I said when I started it, flush the toilet. man, we can keep putting herbs on top of herbs on top of herbs inside of the toilet that's full of bile and just mess. Or we can just flush the toilet. If we flush the toilet, everything goes out, and now, boom, we can start new. Now we're going to absorb all those healthy herbs and vegetables and minerals that we're getting.
Flushing the toilet, you're talking about having that colon
cleanse is synonymous with flushing the toilet. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So you say you eat 85% meat. Well, 85% fruit and vegetables, and 15% milk, cheese, and meat. What's some of the meats that you do eat?
If I have meat, sometimes I'll have chicken. It's if I were to quantify it, I would say twice a week. Chicken, fish. What else? The turkey. I mean, I still eat some beef. Maybe I probably eat beef once every 2 or 3 weeks, if that.
And when should I get the colon cleanse thingy? Like, honestly, like, when should that be? Something?
When or where?
When
you should get it if you're putting anything that's not made from seed in your body, you should get it immediately because there's parasites in your body. Maintenance, honestly, if you're eating like from seed and the best products, technically you don't need it. Why? Because you're not putting anything bad in. But if you're putting something bad in, you would want to flush that out eventually. And the cleanse is the best way to do it. I would say if you get one done, I would get them done once a year. Once a year is totally fine if you want to stick. Even if you stick with a 50-50 diet, even if you go with a 70-30 diet, 70% meat and 30% vegetables. And when I say vegetables, the second you heat up any vegetable, you change its chemical structure. It's made perfectly the second it's grown. So if you get some carrot or chard or kale or broccoli and you heat it up, the second you heat it, you change its chemical structure, and your body does not recognize it. So it's best to eat it in its natural state. Because honestly, we weren't supposed to be eating off of stoves. Like stoves don't even make sense. Honestly, wow. We don't need a stove at all. But I mean, look, I understand that there's businesses wrapped in what I'm saying. So it's like, oh, well, what are you gonna get rid of kitchens now? What are you gonna get rid of doctors now? Man, I don't know. But if I need to say the things that cause us to get back to the basic and it upsets some industries, well, so be it, because it's hurting us. And at what point do we say, man, this is kind of hurting us, maybe we should stop? Why would we heat up something if it changes its chemical structure and components that's made for our body? The healthy bacteria from that fruit, just from room temperature and growing on that tree, it's in the perfect structure for your body. Perfect. So the second you heat it up, guess what? You kill all those microbes and bacteria in the food that was for you. You kill it the second you heat it up. It only makes sense. So you heat something up, you kill it.
So let me ask you this, Jeff. This is my last question.
Yes, sir.
Do you eat corn on the cob without heating it up or stuff like that?
Corn is really not a good food to eat. If you were to eat it, you can. It's really not. It's probably one of the more just at the bottom of the list of things you could eat. Corn and carrots, because your body just doesn't digest it. And a good testament, again, what I'm saying, I always want you to go home and prove it. Prove it to yourself. Don't just take what I'm saying as gospel. You need to prove it in your life. When you eat carrots or you eat corn, when you go to the bathroom, do you still see those corn kernels in your poo? I don't know if you've ever looked at it.
No, that's true.
If you see the whole kernel in your poo, that means your body is not digesting it and absorbing it, meaning it's not good for you. It just came straight out. So, yeah, you can eat corn. I mean, of course, it's going to be hard to eat like some of those starchier leaves, like I was saying earlier. But a good thing to do is, again, if you want the top of the line Bentley thing to get, it's called Vitamix. Between $300 and $500, it'll blend it up perfectly. I mean, you can get a magic bullet from Walmart for $30, and I had that for 2 years, and it works perfectly. It's not going to be as creamy and milky and as the perfect consistency as like a Wendy's Frosty to give you an idea, but it's good. It's good enough if you don't want to invest that much, because it's sometimes easier just to liquefy it and blend it up and then take it in and get all those nutrients without heating it up. Because sometimes sitting down at a table with a big bowl of kale just may not be your thing. Eating for an hour. You know, just
That's
being real.
true.
So, I mean, I want you to be able to do something consistently. The goal is to do it consistently, not just a one-off. You can do a smoothie every day consistently, and it doesn't interrupt anything. You can throw a lemon, a mango, fresh banana if you want it, some strawberries, some blackberries, some blueberries. You can throw some jalapenos in there. I mean, peaches, whatever fruit or vegetable you like from seed, grapes, cherries, watermelon, throw that in the blender. Drink that down. The distilled waters are already in those fruit properties. The healthy bacteria that you need for your body is already in that fruit property. You can still take a probiotic, but man, it's already in the fruit. The probiotic is a synthetic of the fruit. You see what I'm saying? If it's like you're commoditizing, like sidestepping the creator. It's like, oh, well, we can put it in the pill. Man, you can just get it from the fruit. The fruit comes from the seed. The seed is infinite. The seed isn't owned by anybody, and that's the problem, because everything's been turned into a business. It's like, what's the point in having all these businesses if everybody's dying? Fine, we're all rich, but we're all dead.
Oh, yeah, we got to get ready to close it out. We can go on this all night, man. That's some good stuff.
I really could.
I think it's interesting because my wife was just talking about this, like really like giving it all up, and she's been screaming it for the past 6 months, like no lie. So maybe when we go shopping, we'll try it out.
Absolutely.
I know I got a few more things I could have said too, but like I said, it's almost 9:30, so I don't want to keep everybody too long because I want everybody to come back. You know, so I want to be respectful of everybody's time, you know, what have you.
Sir.
So, Jeff, I just really appreciate everything, man. That was some great, very, very valuable information tonight. And I just pray and hope that each and everybody take a long, hard look at their body if they hadn't already started. Because, like I said, everything we put in our body either causes life or death. And so we need to start putting more live food into our body. So quit eating so much dead food and start eating more live food. And that jackfruit, man, I'm definitely going to try that. Go try that jackfruit. Now, you
go to Super H, go to Farmer's Market. Yeah.
I seen it at Kroger's about a few weeks ago, that jackfruit. It looks just like a big old watermelon, y'all. It's a big old
That's right.
Like
Google it, get a picture of it. And,
right. And so I'm definitely going to get it, and I'm going to try it. Now, Sharon, you want to tell us a little something about the social media and all this and that? What we got?
Yes, sir. Okay, so you can follow Force of One on Instagram at Force of One Men, and 1 is the number. Also, it's the same for Facebook at Force of One Men. And then on Twitter is at Force of One _men, and that's the numeric number of 1. And then not spelled out, but the actual number 1. And then on YouTube, just type in Force of One Men, and then type in Jeff, and it'll come up.
Hey man, that was powerful. And so I'm gonna talk to Dr. Blake, my doctor. I'm going to talk to him on tomorrow because our supposed to have been bringing him on last week because they having that screening, prostate cleaning, HIV cleaning, a screening this week, this Saturday. Going to be at Clark College at 9 o'clock on Saturday. This coming Saturday. Not 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It's from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. This coming Saturday at Clark University. Yeah. You know, you can Google that for the address now if you don't know where it's at. But if you're not going to be able to make it, tell someone so they'll be able to go by there and get that screen. It's a free screening, you know, like for people. They're going to be giving out haircuts and a lot of other stuff they're going to be doing. So if you can, try to get by and just get your blood pressure checked. If nothing else, you have to have your blood pressure checked. You'll give them prostates and HIV, as I said, and blood pressure, and just diet and sugar tests, and they're gonna be doing all that. So all of it's going to be free. So I'm gonna talk to Doc maybe tomorrow and see can I get him to come on. Maybe tomorrow if you can. I'll be sending a blast out to everybody to have him come on, share some information with us about such and such, about that. So with no further ado, so I want to open up the lines up, and I want everybody to do something we had never done before. And I really want to thank each and everybody that contributed tonight and made their comments and what have you. So see that once you open up like that, you get more out of it when you participate. You get way more out of it when you participate other than just sit back and look. But, that's fine, too. But so everybody's different, though, because I know me, myself, I get more out when I participate. So I just wish more people would start participating. But whatever means, I just thank God for you coming on and supporting. I pray and hope you get this information was very, very valuable to it. I'm going to open the lines up. Then I'm going to count of 3. I want everybody to say, thank you, Jeff. You want everybody to say that at one time on the count of 3. I'm going to open the lines up. All right, guys, we got an open line. It's unmuted. So on the count of 3, I want everybody to say thank you, Jeff, and we out of here. And so that'll be probably let you know tomorrow. Now we're gonna be on tomorrow. Yes, sir. Okay, we really appreciate it. We're gonna be bringing Chris on sometime. I spoke to Chris tonight. We spoke today for about 35, 40 minutes as well.
I'm trying to hug you, baby. I'm sorry.
And so I'm definitely gonna be bringing him on sometime to speak to us as well. So somebody like to close out in prayer? And also the replay number too, guys. If anybody want to hear the replay number, the replay is 515-739-1022 in the same PIN number, 753-907#. And once again, that's 515-739-1022 in the PIN number, 753-907#. All right, prayers out, somebody.
All right, I'll say a few words. This is Jeff.
Okay.
Creator, I do thank you for bringing us all together, as always, and I really will and hope that what every voice heard or what every ear heard tonight was exactly what they needed, and it was able to meet them where they were, and they're able to implement it in their life as needed. I do speak in love, and I hope I never offend anybody because it's always in love. And, you guys enjoy the evening. Thank you. And thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. And if you need me, you got my number. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, man. All right, guys. Appreciate you, Jeff. Love everybody, man. Appreciate all you guys. All right, good night.
All right, take care.
Likewise.